Hi, and welcome back to Bonding with a Book, Chapter Book Edition, the Unicorn Rescue Society, Chapter 9. Yes, we are 9 chapters in, but before we get started, you know how we start every class. We start with our joke of the day. Here's today's joke of the day.
Where do snowmen keep their money?
Well, do you know the answer?
In a snowbank.
They keep That was a good one. Now it's time for our Chapter 8 recap. We should call Chapter 8 Face Off. Let's break that down. In Chapter 8, there were a lot of confrontations, facing off, people coming eye to eye with things that scare them, that make them nervous, that kind of make them exciting. Let's jump right into that. So, first, we meet this creature and they describe it to us in great detail. Now, because I want to see for the last 8 chapters me telling you to answer and then look in the book for your support. Let's see if you can find where they describe the creature in great detail. I'll wait, don't worry. I've got my book ready. What page should I turn to? Is it page 4? Is it page 24? What page do I turn to? Yes, I turned to page 35. It's the first thing they do in chapter 8. In chapter 8, they tell us at the very beginning, it had a body like a tiny deer's, wings, claws on the front legs, hooves on the back ones, sharp teeth, and it was blue, except for its belly and its wings, which were red. Look at those eyes. Oh, did you notice? He's behind me. That is the creature that they saw. And it said it looked like it had a face that looked like a tiny dragon's. I know, right? So we've come face to face with the creature and face to face with the creature. But that's not all. Uchenna comes face to face with the creature and she wants to help it. Elliot, not so much. Elliot is showing us that he's still kind of a nervous Nancy and he doesn't want to go out there and he thinks Uchenna is what? Crazy. But that is okay because Elliot's job in this chapter is to do what? He freaks out. He doesn't want to help, but Uchenna, being the girl that she is, she's being brave and she is, I am girl, hear me roar, I'm facing this creature and I'm gonna help. But that's not all. We learned something else about this one right here. Those eyes, you see these eyes? There's something very unique about them. Now, I'm going to give you the answer, and then we're going to look in the book for our supporting details. Those eyes don't close like ours. See, watch my eyes. His eyes does not close like that. His eyes do this. So it'd be like if I turn sideways and my eyes close from the sides. His eyes close this way. Where's my support? Did I just make it up? Let's check. If you turn to page 39. On page 39, in the paragraph that says, Uchenna stroked, you go down, it says, in its third sentence, its eyelids, which came from the side of its eyes, began to flutter. So we've come face to face with the creature that has a face of a dragon, it has wings, it has claws, it has hooves, eyes that close this way, it's small like a tiny deer. We've seen Uchenna step up and try to help the creature, and we've seen Elliot freak out. Can you tell me what Elliot did? On page 37, Uchenna says maybe we should help it, and Elliot says, absolutely not. Do not touch it under any circumstances. Wild creatures can be incredibly dangerous. Freak out number 1. And then we turn to page 38. You're right. He says, this is a horrible idea. And then the last freak out of the chapter, on page 40, Elliot screams at the very bottom, second to the last sentence, it was a trap! And what happens? The creature is no longer calm because Uchenna's been petting it and calming it down, trying to untangle it, and its eyes pop open and it is. And now we're getting ready to go into chapter 9. But first, before we read.
Before we read, it's important that we frame our thinking and get our minds ready for our chapter. Before we read, I'd like to ask you, what does it mean to be brave?
To be brave means different things to different people. For me, it means facing your fears. And for me, it means doing what's right, even when nobody else is watching. Now, in this situation in the book, as we go into the next chapter, it may be some extreme versions of bravery, doing things that are a little next level. But I think bravery always starts with a little discomfort, always being honest, and doing what you think is right. I think those 3 are the recipe for bravery. What do you think? I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Have you ever felt trapped or stuck?
Well, for me, I have felt stuck because I can drive. And the worst thing that can happen is your car stopping on you when you're driving, like do do do, just driving along, and or and it's not going anywhere. And that's a really terrible feeling. It makes me feel nervous. I feel anxious and scared, but we always use our noggin and we think for a solution. We think of a solution to help us out of that situation. So have you ever been in a situation in which you felt stuck? How did you feel? What did you do? I'd like to hear about it.
And now it's time to read. I invite you to cozy up with your book, lend me your ear, as we settle into Chapter 9 of the Unicorn Rescue Society. Chapter 9. The little blue beast growled at Elliot and Uchenna, its claws scraping the soft earth. The pink ribbon wrapped around its face. It came closer to them. With each step, its small red wings flapped slowly. Elliot and Uchenna scrambled backward. The creature tried to snap its jaws at them, but since it could barely open its mouth, its teeth just made little clicking sounds. Still, its claws were sharp, and if the pink ribbon came off, those teeth would draw blood, lots of blood. The creature stepped forward. The children scooted back. The creature stepped forward again. The children scooted back again. The creature stepped forward once more. Uchenna scooted back. Elliot did not. He was reaching into his pocket. "What are you doing?" Uchenna whispered. The little animal was getting uncomfortably close to Elliot. A few more steps, and those claws would come into play. Are you hungry, Uchenna?" Elliot asked. "Want a snack?" "What?" Uchenna demanded. "Now!" I'm hungry," said Elliot. The sharp-toothed creature was no more than 3 feet away from Elliot. The ribbon hung from its face and trailed along the ground. And if I'm hungry," Elliot said, "that little guy's probably starving." He pulled the foil-wrapped almond bar from his pocket. He unwrapped the foil. He dropped half of the bar onto the ground. He scooted away from it. The creature stopped growling. It sniffed the air with its round nostrils. Then it put its nose on the ground and sniffed forward through the sunlight, its wings pulsing up and down with each step. Elliot and Uchenna watched. When the strange animal reached the piece of gooey almond bar, it sniffed it and then tried to grab it with its mouth, but its jaws would not open far enough. It pushed the chunk of bar around with its nose, trying to figure out how to get its mouth around it. The creature was completely ignoring the children now. "Great job, Elliot. It's distracted. Let's go," Uchenna whispered, but Elliot said, "Nope. Now you need to grab the ribbon." Elliot pointed at the pink trail of ribbon that hung from the creature's head. Uchenna turned to her new friend. "Wait, now you want to help it?" Elliot set his jaw. "Yeah, I guess so." Uchenna nodded. "Cool." Then she said, "Why don't you grab the ribbon?" "Are you kidding? I'm terrified." Uchenna crept back to where Elliot was crouching. The winged creature was trying to grab the bar with its blue lips. Uchenna lunged forward and snatched the end of the ribbon furthest from the creature's face. The little beast squealed and pulled back. The ribbon went pop. Uchenna held the ribbon in her hand. She could now see that it was a balloon ribbon. Shreds of purple clung to one end. She also saw that the creature was free to use its jaws again.
Oh my goodness. The creature is free, its mouth is free, Uchenna is standing there. They don't know what to do. It's already at them once, and now was when its mouth was tied. Now its mouth isn't tied, and oh my goodness, what is going to happen in chapter 10? Why don't you make a prediction? But we have to ask our end of the chapter question.
Our end of the chapter question: do you think the creature is going to bite Elliot or Uchenna?
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that the creature is going to bite Elliot and Uchenna? I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared for them. I'm nervous for them. I'm excited to see what happens. You tell me. Now, you know what time it is. The end of the chapter question kind of gets us on the way to our predictions. I asked one prediction. Do you think that right there is going to bite Elliot and Uchenna? That's one prediction. But what else do you think is going to happen? Remember, they're on a school field trip. We haven't seen Ms. Vole. We haven't seen Professor Fauna. We haven't seen the ball boy who farts. We haven't seen the girl who picks in her nose. We don't know where anyone is. What do you think is going to happen in chapter 10? I'm so excited to find out. But it'll have to wait until next time. Thanks for reading with me. I always enjoy the time we spend bonding with the book. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.